Good morning to all of you, and I think I'm audible. So, in our previous and last classes, we have started the discussions on the topic of error control and flow means error detection in the part of data communication. While the messages are transmitting through any wireless mode, we have seen the process of the error control and error detection. In this part, we have started with the topic of block coding. So previously on the previous day we have discussed on this particular part what happened in the sender and what happened in the receiver side. This part of very similar process. Right now, with the continuation from the previous classes, we are going to see some the process in the part of this block coding. What are the process that is helping us in the error detection and for the error correction process, right? So the one of the important or the techniques that is used here for this error detection and error control process, we can say the topic that is Hamming distance. The Hamming distance. This is the technique by which we can actually find out the error and the problem in the process of the error control. So the main concept of this Hamming distance is basically for error control. So we use this Hamming distance basically to check the error control process. To check the error control process, right? So this Hamming distance, we are talking about this Hamming distance. Suppose two messages are going to send. So two words considering. So considering the two words, the Hamming distance of between these two words, what is actually is the number of differences between the corresponding bits. So when message is getting transferred, the message is getting first converted into some bits, and then bits are going to be transferred through the medium. So the Hamming distance is actually the distance between the two words, is the number of differences between the corresponding bits. So the bits, the corresponding bits of two words, the difference between the corresponding bits of two words is the calculation or is the distance as known as Hamming distance. So suppose if we are trying to send two messages, considering a message as X and considering a message as Y. So two messages we are going to send. So the Hamming distance we can say that's D of X comma Y. These are my two messages. So the Hamming distance of between these two messages is the distance between the two words of X and Y. So the distance between the two words of X and Y. This is the basic concept of Hamming distance. So this Hamming distance, how we can found it, how we can calculate this Hamming distance process. So to calculate the distance here, we apply actually the XOR operation on that two words. What we apply here? The thing that we apply here, the XOR operation. The XOR operation is included here to find out the distance between the two words. And after applying this XOR operation on that particular two words, counting the numbers of ones, we are going to count the numbers of ones in the result. So how many ones are present there? We are going to count. So after the XOR operation, what we are doing? We are actually counting the number of ones. How many ones are present there? Counting the number of ones in the result part. And result part we are getting from this XOR operation. So first we are applying XOR operation between the two words and then counting the number of ones in the result part. Counting how many numbers of one into the result we are present, that is the founded or that we are going to be count. As an example, we can say, suppose let two message we are trying to send considering as 000 and second message consider as 0, 1, 1. So suppose these two message or these two things we are going to send, and how we can calculate this process, how we can actually calculate this Hamming distance, that is D 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, and we are going to apply an XOR operation here. So applying some XOR operation on this, so means 0, 0, 0 XOR 0, 1, 1. So we are going to apply this XOR operation here. So what will be the result? We are going to calculate this particular result. So suppose after applying this 0, 0, 0 and 0, 1, 1, the result of this XOR operation is 0, 1, 1. The result of XOR operation here is 0, 1, 1. So how many number of 1 is there? We are counting how many number of 1 is there. There is two 1 actually present. So two 1s are present. So applying this XOR operation, after applying this XOR operation, we are going to calculate that how many number of 1s are present, and that is providing us a result of the Hamming distance. Considering another example of 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, suppose we are trying to send another example of 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and the second message is considered as 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So the Hamming distance between these two processes, we are going to first 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, comma 4 times 1 and 0. Then what we are going to applying the XOR process. So applying some XOR processes here, and then what we are going to do, we are going to actually finding out the result here. What will be the XOR result here? That is something 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So the result will be 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So how many number of 1s are present here? There are 3 1s are present. So how many number of 1s present? 3 1s are present. So the process is the need to calculate the XOR value, and we are going to calculate the XOR between the two numbers. And how we can calculate the XOR, that thing was already you have studied in the previous semesters also, we can say, right? So odd and XOR, this type of things, how we can calculate this type of process, you have already know. So the process of that XOR we are going to use here to find out. To find out the bits of XOR, we actually calculate the number of 1s, and then we are finding out the Hamming distance processes, right? Now, the error, the distance and the error here. So the distance, the Hamming distance, we are going to be calculated between the sent word and the received word. Two word that is going to be sent. The two word means one is the sent word and another is the received word, right? So two words, this is our thing. These two words, the Hamming distance, the number of bits, we are going to found the corrupted bits during the transmission. So we are going to found some corrupted bits during the transmission. So Hamming distance between this sent word and the received word is the number of bits that can be corrupted or that are corrupted during the transmission, right? So as I said, that suppose considering the example of Hamming distance, suppose to consider this example, the value you have sent 10101 maybe the sent word, and for the received word is 11110. So this may be the process, or this may be the two words, one for the sent, one for the receive. Then we are trying to calculate the Hamming distance process by finding it out, applying some XOR operations and calculating the number of 1s are there. So this number of 1s we are calculating, this will tell us, this number of 1s will tell us that how many bits or how many message bits are actually error or corrupted. So consider how many 1s we are getting there. There is 3 1. So the answer here, that how many bits are actually corrupted, there are 3 bits corrupted. There are 3 bits corrupted. So this is the process. There are 3 bits corrupted So calculating after applying some XOR option, XOR process, then calculating the number of ones will tell us that how many bits are error in the transmission. During the transmission process, how many bits are getting error. So we are by finding out the number of ones, by calculating the number of ones, we are actually getting the error bits, the number of error bits. So this Hamming distance, finding out or calculating the Hamming distance between this code words, means send and the receive. Two sides, there are two code words, the send and receive code words. So finding out the minimum value of this Hamming distance. So finding out the value of this minimum distance, minimum type of Hamming distance, we are going to be find out for the process of error detection, the use of error detection. So finding out the applying the XOR option, finding out or calculating the number of ones, this will give us a result for the error detection. How many bits are error? So the Hamming distance process we can use to check or to find out that whether any bits have error, or if it is, then how many bits are error. So that is the thing by which calculating we can easily find out that how many bits are error here. So Hamming distance process is providing us the value of the result, that how many errors or how many bits of error is there. Now the part, the secondly, that is linear block codes. So this linear block codes is actually a code of block belong to another subset. So each of this code word and the data word means the original message, code word means the message that is having some extra additional bit by using the generator. So this all block of codes, almost every of block of codes belongs to a subset that is the part of this linear block code. So what this happen in this linear block code, what actually happened? We apply in this linear block code, applying some XOR option on two valid code words. Code words are sent and the receive. So that code words to valid code word, we again apply some XOR, we are applying some XOR and finding out the result, finding out some particular result here. And finding out that how many actually this XOR, after XORing the process, after XORing the two code words, how a new code word will be created with a new value that will be providing this minimum Hamming distance. Again, we are the process, the number of ones with some respective non-zero or zero. There is a combination of zero and non-zero valid code words. We are finding out the result. Okay, so as an example, we can say, suppose a data word is something like this. Let me write the things first. Okay. Consider that for the first case, a data word that is here 0, 0, and in the part of here considering 0 and 1, and it is something codes word for this respective data word that is 0, 0, 0, and here considering this part 0, 1, 1. Again for another thing, consider here 1, 0, consider here 1, 1. Okay, and considering for the data code words 1, 0, 1, and for this process here consider as 1, 1, 0. So this is my data part, this is my data part, this is my code word part, code word part. So for this 0, 0 data word, the code word is 000, For this 1 0, that is 1 0 1. For this 0 1, it is 0 1 1. For this 1 1, this is 1 1 0. So suppose the sender encodes the data word a 0 1 as 0 1 1. So we can see it here. For 0 1, the code word is 0 1 1. So the receiver received this 0 1 1, and it is a very valid code for the respective 0 1 data word. The receiver extracts the data word 0 1 from it because as it is valid. So if the 0 1 is there, if there is no error, then 0 1 is transmitted as 0 1 1. So if the decoder is in the receiver side, 0 1 1 is decoded again and getting the result of data word 0 1, then it is correct. Maybe now the code word gets corrupted during the transmission. Right, the one of the bits get corrupted during the transmission, and it received something 1 1 1. It received a new code word that may be considered as 1 1 1. So you can see that in the table there is no code word like 1 1 1. Right, we cannot see any code word like 1 1 1. So we can say that this is not a valid code word, and so we can actually discard. So we are not accepting this, means an error is there. So each data word that we are going to generate, it have respective of valid code word, and that code word, if it is matching with the respective tables between the transmission between the sender and the receiver, then only those things are going to be acceptable. Otherwise, it is not going to be acceptable. So this scenario, so finding out the number of ones, the calculation of applying the XOR, and then the finding out the number of ones, this will helping us to find out that whether the message or whether the information was actually error or not. If error, then how many bits are error, we are going to be finding out. We are going to calculate that particular part with the help of this Hamming distance process. With the help of this Hamming distance processes. So the next part, that is one more thing that actually helping us here, that is parity check code. One more thing that is helping us here, that is the process known as parity check code. What happened in this part of parity check code? It's also a part of linear block code. I mean, whatever we are discussing, it is also a part of that linear block code. Right. So in this part of linear block code, what happened? This parity check code can detect any odd number of errors. This parity check code can actually detect any odd number of errors. So consider a k-bit data word. This is a k-bit data word changed to an n-bit of word. So my actually data word was k. The k-bit data word is changed to some n-bit code word. So as we know, the data word is actually getting converted to the code word by adding some extra pair of bits. And we have seen the scenario in the previous class as n, k plus 1, this type of scenario, right? So maybe consider n, k is our data word and n is the code word. So if k is my data word, considering k is my data word and n is my code word, so this code word is added with some extra data, extra bits with the data word. So we can write something like this: n equal to k plus some constant type c. So k plus c. So this extra bit is called here the parity bit. The number of extra bits that we are using or adding for this code word, for making or transforming this code word, this is known as the parity bits. The number of extra bits is called as parity bits. The number of extra bit is known as parity bit. So this parity bit was added. This parity bit is selected to make the total number of ones in the code word. So how many code words is there? To making some code word, we are actually using this one or two extra bits. Considering this extra bits, we are putting it here. We are putting some values with respect to that. The Hamming distance here is actually helping again finding out some error detection, whether the code is, whether the thing is errored or not. If error, then how many bits are error, that is be finding out by the Hamming distance. So how the things actually work here, that there are two parts. Whenever we are talking about any type of sending data, there are always two parts. One is for the sender side and one is for the receiver side, right? Because sender is sending the data and at the same time receiver also be in synchronization with this sender. Otherwise, it cannot be helpful. Otherwise, the process we cannot execute. So what happened? There are two parts, one for the sender and one for the receiver. So in the sender side, first let us talk about the sender side or where the message is going to be shared. So in the sender side, what happened? We are using some encoder process to use or to generate some type of code word from the respective data word. The code word is getting generated with the help of some encoder from the respective data word. So the data word, considering we are trying to send some 4 bits data word. So considering the 4-bit data words is A1, A2, A3, and A4. Considering this 4 bits of data words is going to be transferred. And it generates a parity bit. It adds, this is my data word, considering this whole scenario as a data word. This is my data word. Now, some parity bits will be added here, and then it will be converted to a parity bit or to a code word actually. So then it will be transmitted in the code word. So here some parity bit will be added. And then some code word is going to be generated here. Fine. Now this parity bit, consider we are adding some extra parity bit of R0. So consider in this particular data word a parity bit added as R0. So now the code word will be look something like this: A1, A2, A3, A4, then lastly R0. So this is my new code word message, the new generating code word message, right? So this encoder accepting is the data word, a 4-bit of data word, and generating a parity bit with respect to for that 4-bit of data word. And now from that 4-bit, the scenario is changed now 5-bit. Previously it was 4 bits. Now it is getting converted into 5 bits. The parity bit and the 4-bit data words, considering totally making it a 5 bits data word, now are making the numbers of ones in the code word, finding out the part. So the addition of all the parts, the parity bit, we are calculating the R0. How we are actually calculating that particular part of summation of all the data words, that A1, A2, A3, and A4, A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 up to the modulus 2. So the value of modulus 2 with respect to A1, A2, A3, and A4, we are finding out the calculation of the parity bit. And the result of this addition is known as the parity bit. The result of this addition is known as the parity bit. Now, what happens if the number of ones after finding out the parity bit, calculation of the parity bit by the addition of the data bits A1, A2, A3, A4 of modulus 2 to R0, if the number of ones in the data word are even, if the number of ones in the data word, these are the conditions. If the number of ones in the data word, if the number of ones in the data word is equal to even, means have even value. Some even value is there. If the number of ones in the data word is some even values, then the result will be 0. So number of ones, if the event word is result will be 0. If the number of ones in the data word is odd, if the number of ones in the data word is odd, just a minute. Then the result will be something 1. This result means, now maybe some of you have the confusion that what is this result? This result is the parity bit result, means what will be the value of R0. If the number of ones in the data word is even, the result of R0, that extra bit, that R0 will be added as 0. And if it is the odd, then R0, the value of R0 will be added as 1. Means the data bit. Suppose we have this value of this considering 0, 0, 0, 0, and then something parity bit is going to add it. Then what parity bit, the value of that parity bit, we are going to calculate with the addition of the process by adding all the values of the data bits, say 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, whatever will be the values. Now, if we calculate the addition of these 4 zeros, and if we found that number of ones in data words, there is no number of ones in the data word, right? All the things are 4 zeros. So we are going to add a parity bit. The value of parity bit may be calculating that R0 is 0. So that value, after adding the parity bit, the value will be 0, 0, 0, and extra added bit, parity bit, that is 0. This is the part. The R0 value will be the part, right? So from this, if the number of ones in the data word we are calculating, if it is even, the parity bit value will be 0. The value that we are going to add it, the 0. If it is odd, the result will be 1. The parity bit value will be added as 1, right? So in these both cases, the depending upon the total number of ones is actually helping us to add the error, to add this parity bit, right? So to finding out the process, we are going to add this parity bit, and at the receiver side, what we are going to do, same thing. The finding out that how many processes is there. The receiver part, it receives the 5 bits word. It is receiving some 5 bits words. Then a checker performance will be happening on the operations, with some exceptions. That is, again, we are calculating the total part. The bits, suppose considering here, this particular thing was actually received by the receiver side. Now, what happened in the receiver part? This is the message received. Now we are going to again calculating the summation of all the bits, that is 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, all the things were added. This in the part, in the sender part, we are calculating some value of R0, that is some parity bit. We are calculating the value of R0, that is known as parity bit, right? In the receiver side, we are going to calculate some S0, that is known as syndrome bit. That is known as syndrome bit. So parity bit and the syndrome bit, two things is there. R0 and S0. R0 parity bit is for the receiver side, as a sender side. S0 syndrome bit is for the receiver side. So this syndrome bit, we are calculating the addition of all the bits. 0 plus 0 means A1 plus A2 plus A3. So that is part of the sender side. Now it is received in the receiver side, considering the B1, B2, B3, B4. So this result, we are calculating if the syndrome bit is 0, equals to 0. When the number of ones is received, the code word is even, or the syndrome is passed, or if S0 is equal to 0, then there is no error in the received code word, or the data portion of the received code word is the accepting the valid data word. But if S0, the syndrome bit receives the value of 1, then that error is receiving, there is an error in the receiving code word, or the data portion of the received code word is discarded. So two things, there are two conditions after calculating the logical or calculating the bits of all the values of syndrome bits. calculating B1, B2, B3, B4, the value of Q0, that is the part, the extra added priority bit there. The syndrome, we have received the number of ones the equal to 0 when the number of ones is the received code word is even, otherwise it is 1, or the syndrome is passed to the decision of this particular. If S0 of the value of S0 is equal to 0, then there is no error. But if S0 equal to 1, if the syndrome word value is 1, then there is an error. So that value or that code word is going to be discarded. That code word is not going to be accepted, right? So the scenario, by using this parity bit code or Hamming bit code, the process what we are doing, that we are calculating the errors, whether there is an error or not. So Hamming distance, parity bit check code, all the things are actually helping us in the part of the process of finding out the errors. How many errors, how many bits of errors, what is the process of error, what is the value, how the thing is actually going on. We are calculating this particular part with the respective of this Hamming distance and the value of the proper how many bits are error. So we cannot doing any type of error correction. We are doing the error detection process in this with the uses of the Hamming distance, with the uses of the parity check codes, this type of process. And the process is very simple. For the Hamming distance, we are using some XOR operation and calculating the number of ones there to find out how many bits are error. And in the process of parity bit check code, we are trying to use some particular process. We are trying to use the parity bit calculation, addition of the parity bits, then finding out if the number of ones is there even, then we are adding some 0 as a parity bit. If it is odd, then we are adding some 1 in the parity bit, and then in the receiver side we are calculating again the back part, that is for the syndrome value. We are calculating the syndrome values, we are taking the value, and then the part will be analyzed to check whether if the value is 0, then there is no error in the received code word, and if there is some 1, then there is some error in the received code word, and that needs to be finding out, that needs to be checked, right? So this is the part, or this is the process we have discussed today for the error code or error check. Now, in the next class of our communication, the process that we are going to talk the cyclic codes. We are going to talk on the cyclic codes. Now, the scenario is that you people have your exams on 18th, right? So, discussing a new topic, tomorrow's class will not be very much helpful as per my consideration. And I don't think that whether you people have a class of data communication tomorrow. Can anyone tell me? Or let me check.
Sir, we have our exam from 20.
So you have your exam from 20, right? But in Friday, okay, so tomorrow you people don't have any class, or in Friday or Saturday, in both the ways, you people don't have any classes of data communication. Fine. So this is the last class before the internal exam. So, but I think it should be better for a discussion session. If you people have any doubts regarding the before the exam of the internal, whether you people have any doubts, any questions, there should be a discussion session for that. And as I said, the internal exam, the syllabus for that will be only the module first that we have taught. The part of that networking, the physical layer, network layer, data link layer, that particular portion, that particular module 5 that we have started first, right? So that particular scenario will be your intelligence. So what we will do, there is a class, I think of CS 504, we can see, right? So that means the Linux. So in that particular class, what we will do, we actually have a discussion session on both the topics of Linux and also as well as the topic of data communication. So you people have enough time to check that whether you people have any type of problems, or whether you people have any type of questions that needs to be solved. So you people can be ready with it, and you can ask me in the class so that I can help you solving those particular problems before the exam, because it will be very helpful. So tomorrow, in the classes of that Linux particularly, we have a discussion session of both the topics of Linux and data communication, whatever the scenario, right? So this is all for today, because starting any new topic will not be helpful for the scenario. Fine. So this is all for today's class, and particularly we have talked or discussing on the topics of the cyclic codes, Hamming codes. The cyclic codes we are going to talk in the next class after the exam. So priority bit, Hamming distance, all the things, all the scenarios we are going to discuss here. Up to this particular part we have discussed, right? So you people have the exam onwards from 20th, and you people have the exam of data communication on 24 and Linux on 26. Okay, fine, no issue. Okay, so this is all for today, and I hope all of you have understand whatever the discussion we have today, and all of you have written your names in the chat box for the attendance purpose, because we people are very fast in it. Okay, fine. So I can see all of you have written your names in the chat box. Okay, so this is thank you all for joining to the session. We are going to meet again from 11:30 into the classes of Linux, right? So thank you all for joining to the session. Take care, and we are going to meet again in 11:30. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank